What is going on, my diggity dogs? It's your boy, the CEO of Users. That's right. I'm actually the CEO of all users in the world, actually. Today I'm coming at you with another tier list, or the same tier list, just this is part 3. I have 10 new games for you, so let's get started. First up is My Game. So you're just kind of playing with this interactive buddy. You play different simple games like rock, paper, scissors, or memory. It's like not that very long, so I only got like 6 minutes of playtime out of it. That's really all I have to say about it. I guess some cons would be that it has very cheap scares. I would say it's kind of like just some jump scares, and some of the horror is I wouldn't say it's unique to this game. It's also very short. Like I said, I got like 6 minutes out of it. I think I'm gonna put it maybe right here. Also, I'm gonna move this one up, Happy Planets, because when I went back to rewatch the footage again, I think I remember liking it a little bit more than I originally did. Next up is Beyond the Shelf. This is a story game, and there are 3 different endings. The story was pretty interesting, I'd say. It had a lot of twists and turns that I didn't really see coming. It seems that a lot of the gameplay is just like wandering around and doing meaningless tasks. That sort of gives you the illusion that nothing is wrong, but once you play through it one time and you want to try to get the other endings, it becomes very tedious. So I'd say I put it around the same place I would put Happy Plants. These two are maybe the same. Well, they're not the exact same. I'd say there's more in Happy Plants than there is in Beyond the Shelf. Happy Plants is longer, but if you want to get both endings, then it's going to take longer as well. This game is just more polished, I'd say. It's a lot more fun to play, to replay, I guess, if you want to get all the endings than Beyond the Shelf. So yeah, I'm going to put it up here. Next up is Bullet Dungeon. Bullet Dungeon is kind of a cross between a bullet hell with Dungeon Quest, which is a very popular Roblox game. I'd say this one is easier to come back to than Dungeon Quest is, which is kind of what I'm going to compare it to. If you've played Dungeon Quest, you know that Dungeon Quest is very, very repetitive. Once you sort of like get the first couple of dungeons down, it kind of becomes boring if you're not into the game. If you're not into the gameplay loop, I feel like this game could spice it up a little bit more because you have to pay more attention to the game. In Dungeon Quest, you kind of just like avoid the enemies and fire spells. Well, that's how I did it because I played Mage when I was playing the game. But in this game, there's a bullet hell, so you have to pay more attention to it than just the highlights of the enemy's attacks. I'd put this. I put this right here. Also, I'm gonna move Moon Stomach down, maybe to right here. Yeah, sure. Because when I was rewatching Moonstomach, I don't think it's on par with Prototype. Prototype is very interesting. It's more interesting, I'd say, because first of all, there are multiple endings. There are some secrets involved, or there's some mystery involved in the story. But with Moonstomach, it's kind of repetitive, I'd say, with the battles. And if you want to attempt to beat the final boss, then it's going to take you a long time to get back there. So yeah, I'm going to put Moonstomach down here. Next up is Everything Goes Here. So this is supposed to be a analog horror type game. Unfortunately, I don't think it does anything to be unique at all. It kind of does the same things that you would see in most basic analog horror games where I'm going to spoil it here, but trust me, I'm not missing out on much. It's just this guy killed his family and then might have burned the house down or something. And then a police officer comes over to, I think it's to do with like a wellness check or something. And then like questions the guy, the main character, before he like burns the house down, I guess. Or I think he also kills the officer and like chops his limbs off or something. It's edgy for no reason, I'd say. Kind of reminds me of Urban Spook. Yeah, there's nothing really else to say about this. There's no reason to play this game at all, so I'm gonna put it up at the top of not good. I played through the entire game. I played through. Well, at the time I played it, I think there was only 1 or 2 tapes. When I think there's supposed to be a maximum of 3 that would be coming out. So maybe they upped the quality with the last tape or something. But for now, I'm just gonna put it at not good. It's better than Subterra and West End Wood because I got more enjoyment out of this because like the story of the game gives me something to pay attention to. Where something like Subterra or West End Wood, there's kind of nothing. They're both kind of nothing games. So yeah, I'm just gonna put up there. Next up is Glitch. So in this game, it's kind of like Flee the Facility. You're going around and you're trying to escape this glitch thing. You have this little glitch detector that lets you know if it's nearby or not. And you're supposed to go around and collect 10 fragments. If you collect all 10, then you win. If you all die to the monster, then you all lose. I think I'll put glitch right here. Like I said, it is very similar to Flee the Facility, so I don't know why you wouldn't just go and play that game. That game is way, not only is it bigger, so you're going to get more people to play with, but I think there's more to it, because once you die from the glitch, I don't think there's a chance of you getting saved like there is on Flee the Facility, so I don't really see much of a point of playing this game. However, the game is very fun. There is definitely a lot of replay value. It's fun to play with your friends, I'd say. I don't have any friends, but I did manage to play with a group of people that seemed pretty fun. So I did get some enjoyment out of it. So that's why I'm putting it here. Also, I'm gonna move Targo down to like right here. Catacombs, Exploration, this Komorebi Island, and Create Your Monster all have more to it than Targo. Next up is Grace. From what I know about Doors, it seems to be a lot like Doors. It's a very fast-paced action game, kind of like Blitz Runner, except the game is actually easier to control, I'd say. The game seems to be a lot like Doors, as I said, where you're just like running and you have to go through these different rooms, and there's different tasks to complete in each room. Sometimes you'll have to go and like connect like the push buttons, or you'll have to go put like these like cylinders to different areas, or sometimes there'll be monsters you have to kill to get by. I didn't make it too far into the game, so I only came across a few different threats. The game seems to be very highly polished. There seems to be a lot of people who played the game, so I might put it up here. Probably right here, I'd say. Well, yeah, I'll put it right there. I think I got more. Well, no, I'll put it right here. I'm thinking I got the same amount of enjoyment as I got out of this game as 21. So I might just put these like interchangeably. You can like just put these in the same spot. Next up is P_OS. This game promises a horror game, but I didn't see any horror at all. It is an exploration game where you can just go around in this facility or this like building where it's like a digital tour of a building of some kind. Eventually you can like get onto the internet and explore different websites. The entire game is based off of, it's themed around old Roblox. It's kind of a simple game, although it's very long. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. I might put it right here. Just because it promises horror game. It promises horror, and with the style of old Roblox, you think you're going to get something good, but I literally did not experience any horror. The closest thing I got to creepy was the different badges of the game that you can get that have different, like, there was like one with binary code under it, and I think there was like a Caesar cipher in one of them as well, or some other cipher. So I think there's more to the game than what I saw, but it was really disappointing to not see anything also too creepy. So I'm gonna put it right here. Well, yeah, I'm going to put it right here because while it is just disappointing, I wouldn't say it's as cheesy as my game is. There's definitely more to see in this game. There's more to do as well. So I'm gonna put it right there. Next up is Serenity's Reach. Serenity's Reach is kind of confusing at what the point of the game even is. You're kind of just going through this very monochrome, like just gray brick area, and the only thing that's not gray is blood off of these gray bodies. It's all very confusing. At one point there was like this big like construct that looks like a monster. I was trying to brainstorm what the heck this game could be trying to do, like what story could be trying to make, but nothing concrete comes to mind. It's just so vague. There's no dialogue. There's only like platforming, I guess, and exploring around and just looking at stuff. So you don't really get much of an explanation of what's going on in this game. I might put it down right here, I guess. There is something to do in this game. Unlike a landscape, there's actually something to think about. But there isn't really. Once you play through the game, there's nothing else to do. And it's not as pretty as something like Golden Hour is, so that's why it's going to go right there. Next up is the Forge and the Crucible. There seems to be a lot to do in this game. When you start off, you have this option to take this weird, like, personality test, or it's like an element test where you answer different questions with 4 different answers, and then you're assigned an element based off of that. Although I don't think the element actually does anything. I think I was assigned water as mine, and like literally nothing happened otherwise. So once you're done with that and you go around the base game, or if you just decide not to take the personality test, there seems to be a lot to see. It's based off of old Roblox. So like there's old studs, and your character walks the exact same. The HUD seems to be really old as well. There seems to be some secrets in the game that I didn't really get to find. I'd say this game is right around here, I'd say. Komorebi Island is more interesting than the Forge and the Crucible, but the Forge and the Crucible is, well, actually, I might put this right here instead. Because, the Catacombs kind of has more to do in it than the Forge and the Crucible. While there are more secrets in the Forge and the Crucible than there are in the Catacombs, I just think the Catacombs is just more interesting. And while Targo has secrets just like the Forge and the Crucible, I wouldn't say it's as interesting. It's kind of just a myth game, and there's nothing else to it. Maybe the Forge and the Crucible, it's also a myth game. I just don't know. I don't know what to think of this game. Last up is the Selvin Residence. The Selvin Residence is a myth game based off of the Selvin family. In the actual game, there seems to be this big house with like multiple other buildings that you can explore. The game is very detailed, I'd say. Its detail is something similar to like Chaos of the Bistro. Although something that kind of takes me out of the game is just how many reused assets of trees there are. Now, I know that kind of sounds like nitpicky, but it kind of takes you out when you're looking at the finer details. of everything. It takes you out of the experience when you see that there's a lot of a reused asset in the game. Now, I'm not saying there's something wrong with the game. I'm more so saying that that's kind of just maybe a flaw with my brain, I'd say. I would like to not pay attention to that because I don't want to be taken out of the experience, and I'm not expecting the creator of the game to make every single model of every single tree different. So that's just kind of something that might be personal to me. I might put this. Did I really just say I might put this maybe right here. I'd say it has about the same qualities as Komorebi Island. And there's an actual story involved. There's like so if you're into if you're into myth games, and then like go check this game out. There's probably something in there that you could find interesting. For me though, I'm not into myths. I'm more so into the story that the video game has, and I think the game might have some stuff, just not enough to make a cohesive story, I'd say. That's really all I have to say. That was all of the games that I had for you. That's the end of this video. There's obviously going to be more coming. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Bye.